Hey guys, Micah here. Gonna be drawing a 2016 Mustang here, and so just basically real simple. Kind of start out with my horizon line, just to kind of get the basics of where my car is going. Now for this drawing, I'm going to basically kind of draw everything within an oval. So I'm using this to define my parameters of my car here: front, back, sides. And this car primarily, I want to really get the front of it down, and so that's going to kind of be the focal point of this car. And so I'm going to begin to sketch it in. I'm going to also lean it towards the front so it's got a little bit of motion and it looks pretty aggressive. So I'm just going to kind of hit in a couple lines right now that I really want to emphasize on, and then I'll begin to start tackling this thing like that. But that's basically how I basically define it, like this. Now from here, I define my center point off of this line right here. Basically it comes in. We're gonna start nailing it down now right here. Okay, here we go. So that's gonna be my grill. I'm gonna make this stance look pretty aggressive here, like this. And again, I'm gonna kind of have a lot of freedom with this car because I've never done this one before, never practiced it yet. Just basically kind of drawing it out for you guys. But I think it'll be kind of fun when we're done. And this one, all right, there we go. Now we gotta make these just like that. This guy's gonna go back like that. I'm gonna put a real big, crazy air intake scoop on this thing as well, just to kind of give it some aggressive stance and feel to it. There we go. Just like that, like that. Just a quick sketch to get things rolling here. And again, as I like to do with my style, I'm going to overemphasize these wheels here. Get these guys sketching in like this, that. Here, like that. Now, it looks like on these Mustang rims, they've actually got a bunch of spokes in there, and these spokes are going to hit the insides of here as well. And so I'm going to basically show on this perspective what's going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like this. Actually, this would probably be better to do like this. You can kind of see. So I've got my window in here, pulling that guy down. Okay, back of the car. I'm going to go heavy on the back wheel as well. I really want to pull that guy in, and I kind of want to make it meatier as well. Okay, I know it's got the back of these Mustangs have a tendency to flare up over the rim and the wheel well as well. So I'm going to go like that. And so with this Mustang, I'm basically stancing it all to look more aggressive. Slopes down like that. So I'm not even actually able to see. Okay, so there, basically I roughed in everything, and then I'll start, as soon as I kind of get the idea of what I'm looking for, then I'll start tackling this thing. Okay, so there we go. Now since I basically got my basic shapes in there, then I can start going in there and start fine tuning and detailing everything. Now this is going to be in one of the 350 ones, so it's going to have the stripe down the middle, and it's kind of cool when you're doing the stripes. Those actually help define the shape of the car better, because the stripes go and they round out over the top of the curves of the vehicle. So when I'm done, I'll kind of give you an idea and show you. So let me blast through this thing real quick and start filling in some details and some lines, and we'll go from there. Again, all my darks, I'm just going to go heavy in here to kind of just define some things in here. Okay, my lights. There. Now again, with my lights, I'm gonna basically, it's kind of fun because when you start slanting your lights in, a lot of times that kind of makes it look mean and more aggressive. And it's just one way I like to do that. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna basically capture this thing now. I'm gonna kind of go over and I'm gonna start tracing out some basic elements of these shapes here, which is this is my rough outline of my car. And I darken this up to give it a little bit more depth. Now I'm also going to add a little fin thing at the back, just for grins. Might as well. The car's going to roll around like that. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to start darkening this thing in, kind of making this thing come alive. Again, everything's just a real fast motion, fast sketch, stuff like that. I'm not really super worried about, you know, having to nail down everything, but I just want to kind of get the basics of this car first. Basic shapes. Things that are going to stand out on this guy. Hopefully you guys are able to track with me and see this thing okay. There we go. Okay, this guy here. So my rims, let me go a little bit better on this. So what I'm going to try to do, just for the sake of argument here and helping out to define what's going on, is I'm going to use these spokes as guides in here to kind of show you where they cross. And they are going to touch this rim here. So there we go, like that. And they're going to come through like this. Okay, roughly like so. Okay, good. Come here like that. These are going to roll around like that. Again, my style, I have a tendency to darken in. I don't put the calipers in. I have a tendency to darken the back of the inside of the wheel. Just kind of gives it some depth. Okay. Okay, we got my coming through like this, like this. Okay, let's blast this guy out here. Now again, it's just a real rough sketch, but you can kind of get an idea and start seeing some key features of this Mustang that are very similar. Again, if I was to do a fine-tune this, I would go back and I would be very careful, which I'm not really being super careful right now. I'm just kind of throwing in lines, throwing in shapes, but you can kind of see. My goal is I just kind of wanted to get the aggressive stance of this thing, so that's why it looks kind of the way it does right now, and I'm pleased with that. Okay, so these guys, so these rims are going to pop out like this. So you kind of, it's almost like because they're bowing out, you can kind of see what's going on here. So they're kind of coming in towards the middle here, and they're touching the outside of this wheel here like this. They're touching that like that. And that. So it gives the appearance of a deep dish as well. It's lighter and darker in there. Okay, again. So again, everything's just really rough, really kind of messy, but you kind of get the idea of what's going on here. We've got something that comes in here like this. Keep losing my image. Anyway, so now we've got our stripe that rolls in like this, and a stripe that rolls out like that. So just a real quick, 5-minute sketch to kind of get an idea of just the shape of this Mustang. So hopefully that helps, guys. Have any questions? You can follow me at Micahdoodles. And anyway, thanks.